Hello, everybody. Welcome back to NDICE. I'm your host, David Trinko, alongside Lincoln Retzloff and Ian Iverson, as usual. And in today's episode, we'll be going over the 2026 NHL entry draft, which featured a record 8 UND players drafted, or UND future players drafted. Um, but before we get into that, let's go over our weekend recaps. It was the 4th of July. Um, this last weekend. What did everyone get up to? Last time we talked was with Clay Matvick. If you haven't seen that episode, go check it out. A really great interview with him. Um, Clay Matvick announced the Holy Cross, Minnesota game, UND versus Minnesota in '07 regional, and many, 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 many others. UND in it or not. So go and check that out if you haven't already. We talked a little bit about the draft in that episode, but we're going to talk about the draft now. But back to what I was saying before. What did everyone do for the 4th of July?
Just hung out with girlfriend, her family. Yeah, shot off some fireworks and just had a good weekend. So was in Fargo, didn't end up going to the lakes this year, but yeah, it was a good weekend.
Nice. Ian?
I got to go home, see my family. Went to Sweet Home, Alabama, go to the lake, got plenty of sunshine. Good to see family and, just relax and hang out. And yeah, it was good. I took Monday off and I had Friday off, obviously. So I got a nice 4-day weekend. But
Oh, nice.
I got it.
Sweet. Good to hear. How are your studies doing?
It's good. I have my test slated for the end of October. So I got about 3 months. I got my last coursework right now, and then we move into the review kind of next month. So it's a lot, but getting dialed in.
Nice. Yeah, for me, this is the fourth year in a row I've been going to my buddies from high school. There's a handful of us that all went to high school together that we just go and dick around at their house in Fargo and light off a bunch of fireworks with their family and just been doing that every year and it's been a lot of fun. Usually have a couple groups of parents pull up so it's always fun, light off like a grand worth of fireworks that one of my friends generously buys and lights off for fun. So happy to be there every year. Um, yeah, so that's what I did. But 4th of July is over. But anyway, so we missed last week, Tuesday. We were going to record, but there were just conflicts going on, so we just didn't do it. Um, I think Ian, you were busy or something like that. But so we're about a week and a half removed from the NHL draft happening, and UND set some records going at the draft this year. I believe a record 8 picks of future or current UND players picked in the draft this year, 4 of which are coming in or will be on this year's team, I should say. 3 of them will be incoming freshmen, and one is a current player, which is Keaton. But we'll go over the top 10 picks, kind of where we saw people falling, what kind of happened, and then some of the other NCAA players around in the draft that got picked as well, and where they'll be headed. So uh, we'll just hop right into it. The first overall selection in the this year's draft was Gavin McKenna. He ended up going to Toronto. I think we talked about whether it was going to be Gavin or Ivar Sundberg, and we knew, I mean, we didn't know, but um, I mean, we pretty much knew it was going to be Gavin McKenna. There was a thought that maybe it could have been Ivar just because he's going to be more NHL ready, but ended up being Gavin. So all of the fuss and everything this year about him being the first selection or not was all for nothing because he ended up going number 1 anyway. Um, and then last summer, Keaton was projected to go like second in the draft, possibly first. He ended up sliding all the way down to ninth. We'll get to that in a second. Second overall, I just said was Ivar Sundberg with San Jose.
Ivar.
And Ian Malhotra went to Vancouver, ended up being drafted by his dad. The top 10 kind of didn't go at all how I thought it was going to. I thought originally Ian was going to get drafted by his father in
Caleb.
Vancouver, but then
Caleb
what?
Malhotra. You said Ian Malhotra.
I,
Caleb
I was
Malhotra.
top three actually. I was out there at the draft.
Ian was there. He was boots on ground.
Yeah, you're
Yeah,
right. It's
boots on the
Caleb
ground,
Malhotra.
scouting, dude. Scouting
You
for
you
Chiz.
looked at this script. Why did you say nothing?
I didn't look at the script
Why does no one look at the script?
because I'm on this right now.
You guys do nothing. I don't know
Dude,
why.
we're on island time, man. We're locked in. We're boots on the ground
You
scouting.
are not locked in clearly because you guys aren't looking at anything. So I was over here doing this off of memory, so screw me, I guess. A guy can't make mistakes. Um, 4 was a shocker. No one expected Jackson Rudolph to go as high as he did. Selection by Buffalo. That pick came from Chicago originally and was dealt to Buffalo in the Bowen Byram trade, which ended up being, holy crap, that was kind of a crazy trade for Chicago. They gave up a lot for not much and then ended up signing Bowen Byram to a really heavy deal, 12.5 million, which for those of you who don't know or have any conception of how much money that is, that's how much Connor McDavid is making for the next 2 years. So just a really big contract for a guy who's never been a top two defenseman in the league. Um, yeah, so Jackson Rudolph, he's going to be playing at Denver this year. He goes fourth overall. That one shocked a lot of people. The fifth pick was Albert Smits for the New York Rangers. Lincoln, you thought that was going to be Carson Carels, um, and it was not. And then Carson Carls ended up going sixth overall to Calgary. I think that's a perfect fit right there. He's going to fit in really well with Calgary. They're kind of like, I wouldn't call them Cowboy Town because that's more Nashville, but I mean, for a Canadian kid, that's pretty much Cowboy Town. So pretty cool right there. Anyone got anything to say so far about the top six?
No, we can get into who's coming to college after this, but
Okay.
yeah, there are a lot of records broken for college hockey, which is cool.
Chase Reed, going to Michigan State next year. Went seventh overall to Seattle. A lot of people thought he's gonna be the first defenseman off the board. He ended up being the fourth defenseman off the board, going to Seattle. Really, really, honestly, in my own opinion, happy that none of our guys went to Seattle. I think that organization is kind of a dumpster fire right now, and they ain't got much going on. No offense to the people who like Seattle. Just really didn't want him to go, any of them to go there. Same with Vancouver. I mean, Vancouver had the third selection, like we said before, but um, Vancouver's a dumpster fire. I mean, you kind of go there and your career dies, or you just don't do anything with your career. No offense to Vancouver fans. Vancouver is beautiful in its own way, but just at the current state of the franchise right now, they're going to be absolutely dog the next couple of years. So, um, going to the eighth pick, Vigo Bjork to the Winnipeg Jets. Again, kind of happy one of our guys didn't go there. Kind of thought Keaton was maybe going to go to Winnipeg, didn't end up happening. So he dropped to ninth overall. Uh, Keaton Verhoeff. Okay.
Job.
Keaton Verhoeff to San Jose. That pick was Florida's originally. It went to Ottawa in the Brady Tkachuk trade. And Ottawa in turn traded it to San Jose as a part of what's his name? Oh, don't tell me. Oh gosh, Victor or William Eklund trade. So San Jose ends up getting Keaton Verhoeff. So really excited about that. That organization is going to be really good in a couple of years. They made a lot of moves. I think they signed Mason Marchment. They got Jacob Trouba, uh, Darnell Nurse, both really old veteran defensemen who don't have great contracts, but doesn't really matter right now because a lot of their guys are still developing and a lot of their guys are on rookie deals. So, San Jose going to be kind of dangerous. I don't know if they'll be dangerous, more of a dark horse this year, but just really happy that Keaton went to the organization in general. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I think that was the ideal landing spot, and I think there was a lot of speculation that the Sharks did want to take him at 2, and they ended up taking Stenberg, which is, I think, the right pick. And then Keaton falls to you at 9, so they already had won the draft within their first 2 picks. So
Hmm.
I'm glad he did go to a team like that. I know people are like, oh, he fell all the way down. It's like, well, like you kind of said, Dave, I'd rather him go to San Jose than Seattle. So I don't know, and I think it takes some pressure off him and whatnot, and
Yeah.
so I think it's really good for him. He's probably going to be a guy who wins a Stanley Cup for UND, so I think it worked out very well.
I think it adds a little juice to him too that he got drafted
Mm-hmm.
ninth. I mean, he's got a lot of people to disprove now, a lot of claims to disprove, so hopefully it works out in his favor. Um, Minnesota incoming freshman Wyatt Cullen, son of Matt Cullen, uh, got drafted 10th overall by Nashville. And then the last guy I have on the board here is Tynan Lawrence, who got drafted by St. Louis. Good luck there. St. Louis is, I just don't really like St. Louis that much. So, Tynan was projected to go top 5 at one point when he's in the USHL earlier. Jumped ship from Muskegon, I believe, was the team to BU at the midway part of this year's college season and didn't do jack shit for BU really. So he ended up dropping to 11th, which I think is a pretty good spot for him. He's got a lot of talent, a lot of raw talent right now, but he hasn't really proved a whole lot at the college level, and that's okay because, I mean, he's young. A lot of guys struggle. I mean, Gavin McKenna struggled the first half of the year quite a bit, and then uh, Verhoeff struggled a little bit in the second half. So college not easy, the jump from juniors to college. So uh, anybody got anything else to add about the top 11? Ryan Lynn is a going to Denver this year. He was supposed to go like I want to say top 15, and then he ended up going 21st overall to San Jose. So San Jose got another steal, arguably at 21. Just crazy. Lincoln,
Yeah,
what are you
San
doing?
Jose
You're
is
making
going
me
to be
nervous.
filthy in a couple of years. Once those guys sign and go to the league, San Jose is going to be disgusting. It's pretty exciting to see. I mean, they easily, with Stenberg and Verhoff, they won the draft, and then they get Lynn, another guy who's projected to be a stud and another NCHC defenseman product. Yeah, they're going to be nasty. So excited to see what they do in the next few years.
For sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. I think a lot of the guys fell where we thought they would. Tynan Lawrence. I think that actually might end up be a good pick for St. Louis, all things considered. He's going to stay and develop, and he's good. He's got size. He's just a little ways away, and he's going to play on a BU team that should be pretty good. So that's a good pick for St. Louis. And then Ryan Lynn, San Jose getting him. Uh, just another good pick. Probably in the position he would have gone if San Jose wouldn't have picked him. Someone would have picked him right after. So it was a good pick by them, and they're going to continue to. They're going to be good the next few years.
Was it Ilya Morozov from Miami that got drafted?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I wasn't sure if that was the right name, but um, I want to say he went like 22 overall. So
20.
probably
Went one
20.
above Lynn.
Okay. So one of the first round draft picks for Miami in a little while now, so that's good to see. Um, just anytime you have an NCHC4 drafted in the draft is in the first round is pretty good. So lots of other college a lot of other first round picks headed to college hockey this year. We're not going to go through all of them right now because we kind of just want to breeze through this, but we'll go over the all of the UND draft picks from this draft. Obviously, Carson Carels went 6th overall in the first round to Calgary. He will be coming in as a freshman this year. Keaton Verhoeff, 9th overall, first round to San Jose. Liam Ruck. Oh, I forgot to talk about that. I don't think we talked about that. I don't know if it had happened last pod, but the Ruck Twins, who tore up the dub with Medicine Hat this year, are both headed to the University of North Dakota. Not this year, but the next year. So they won't be incoming this year. But Liam Ruck went 22nd overall in the first round to Pittsburgh. They talked heavily about it at the combine that they wanted to be drafted together, and they've only spent 4 days apart in their lifetime, which is crazy. And they'll continue to keep playing together for a long time, God willing. Markus Ruck was one of the first to go off the board on day two. He ended up going 39th overall in the second round to Pittsburgh as well. So Pittsburgh able to secure both of the Ruck brothers. I don't know if a lot of organizations would have gone out of their way to pick Marcus. If when Pittsburgh picked Liam, I don't think any organization would have really done that to them to pick. I mean, as long as Pittsburgh isn't stupid about it and wait till like the seventh round, they're not going to do that. But yeah. So Ruck brothers will be coming in the fall of 2027, and they are both uh, property of the Pittsburgh Penguins. Another incoming freshman, Ethan MacKenzie, went 69th overall in the third round to the Toronto Maple Leafs. So he will be heading in this year as a third round selection. Brayden Klimpke, 115th overall in the fourth round, was selected by Montreal. He will not be coming in this year, projected to come in also in the fall of 2027. Incoming freshman, this is the last of the draft. Connor Davis went 129th overall in the fifth round to the Vancouver Canucks. He should be in Grand Forks pretty quick here as summer camp and voluntary workouts start. Cooper Simpson was the last selection off the board for
Williams.
UND. What?
Cooper Williams.
Well, I have Cooper Simpson, so whatever. Cooper Williams, 158th in the fifth round to Boston. Would have been really great if you guys would read the damn script. Because you make me look like an idiot right now. I did all this off of memory, so that's my bad, I guess.
Cooper, we're sorry, man. We're just amateurs, but
Well, maybe if you guys looked at it, it'd be pretty cool. Pretty cool, cool, cool. I kind of don't want to talk the rest of the podcast, so I'm gonna let you guys talk. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I think Cooper Williams, a lot of people had him up higher. I don't think it's really a surprise that he dropped that far. He really didn't have that good of a season when you look at his stats. So he's definitely going to need to have a bounce back this next year. If he wants to, he should still come into UND, obviously, but obviously not the season he wanted. Connor Davis, I think a lot of people had him not getting picked. The people who did, I don't think had him going in the fifth round. I think just a lot of NHL teams just really like him, like his style of play, and they just know he's going to be he's a good player. He plays the right way, and he's going to North Dakota, so they like to see him develop. Klimpke, I don't know too much about his game, but I think when he comes into UND, he's going to play a big role as a freshman. He's really skilled, good player. And then MacKenzie going to Toronto, that's a really good pick for Toronto. I think probably one of their better picks in the draft. People were wondering when he was going to go, goes to Toronto. I think that worked out well. And then lastly, just on the Ruck brothers, yeah, you kind of figured once Pittsburgh had taken Liam, they were going to shoot for Marcus. And then after you hear all the buzz about how they've only been apart for no more than 4 days in their life, another team's probably going, well, they like to play together. Is the one who is Marcus really as good without Liam? We don't have Liam. Is he worth the pick? So I don't really think that's that big of a surprise that they got picked by the same team. I did not have Liam necessarily going that high in the first round, if in the first round at all. But it's good to see, and it'll be interesting to see how they tear it up back in juniors next year. So yeah,
I don't know how much better they can do. I mean,
it's a good point. 100+ points each.
it works out for us because they get to come here, but
Yeah. Yeah, I think Pittsburgh honestly kind of stole Marcus in the second round. I said this right after the draft, but I'm like, I think Marcus is a guy who is going to blossom at UND, and he's going to be a type of guy that everybody else around the league wishes they picked. For context, Liam is the scorer of the two. He's the one who has got a good shot and puts the puck in the net. Marcus is the playmaker. And I mean, this guy had what, like 82 assists in 60 games this year. Um, I don't know. That's just a guy that I think fits UND's system really well. And we've seen all the guys that come through our system as playmakers, like even Reshny this year tore it up, primarily being a playmaker. So I'm excited to see him play, the year after this year. But overall, college hockey is going to be loaded. I think total in the first round, there were 17 college hockey commits drafted, including, I think, six of the top 10. So it's a good time to be in college hockey right now. The competition is only getting more fierce, and I don't know. It's very exciting to see this happen, because ideally this leads to something more. And there's a lot of buzz around college hockey trying to leave the NCAA's, blah blah blah. Do I think that's feasible right now? Absolutely not. But right now with the CHL kind of becoming a recruiting pipeline for the NCAA's, you could see this become some sort of semi-pro separate league here in a few years. And to me, that's really exciting. So,
Yeah, that would be interesting if the NCAA hockey did leave. I have heard that before. I don't think it's going to happen personally, but I have heard what you're saying, Ian. And it would be interesting. I don't know how they would go about doing that and whatnot. And it would, yeah, I don't know. That would be. You'd probably see also an influx of with the rule changes if they did leave the NCAA. I bet some of these like an Ivar Stenberg would be able to come play a season in college hockey, even though he played a year of pro in Sweden. I would assume that would be how that would open that up too. And so I don't know. It's interesting to see what will happen with the NCAA over the next few years. And I think the big on this topic, if college hockey's kind of just hovering, if you really want to pay attention to conference realignment, but not even that, teams splitting off, pay attention to like Power Four football, because that's if it happens there, which it won't for a few years, but if it does, then you can really start to look at college hockey and be like, oh, maybe this could trickle down. So that is a really interesting point to bring up, Ian.
I think it's just all smoke and mirrors, to be honest. I don't think that they're going to break away. I think they're just kind of using that as leverage against the NCAA to do what they want. I don't think it, I mean, it's obviously possible. I don't think it's ever going to happen. I mean, we have seen the NCAA, especially football, just become as a massive business, just crazy money, just moving money. I mean, they make just stupid money. Um, I think it's for the most part, I honestly feel like it's all smoke and mirrors. I think that they just kind of say that, like, we could do this if we wanted to, if you didn't let us do what we want, you know. I don't think
Sure.
it'll ever happen. I mean, unless shit hits the fan with the NCAA or something, I don't see it happening. But I mean, it is technically a possibility. And I think NCAA hockey, if that were to happen somehow, I think NCAA hockey would be quite a ways behind that. So, but yeah, not a bad idea, I guess, to bring up the idea. It's always a fun little thought to have. So,
yeah.
um,
I think Chicklets brought this up, but another fun
they
thing
did.
they
Oh, sorry.
floated was the idea of, like an NHL style league where you have kind of 30 of the best programs. I think that would be really sick is if we had kind of an FBS, FCS style of college hockey where all the big boys get to kind of play against each other because you're getting, the elite, you're getting the elite stuff. And no disrespect to the bottom half of college hockey, but there is kind of a massive drop off between the top 20, top 30, and, the bottom half. But I don't know. That'll never happen for sure, but it is cool to speculate and wonder, what would happen if they move to a more semi-pro approach? Because that's kind of the biggest thing that the CHL complains about is like it's not, they're not playing 3, 4 games a week. But
I
I
feel
don't know.
like the FBS is already kind of like that. They already have a pretty big drop off after what, like the 50th team, 50th,
Yeah.
90th team.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's just not a lot of teams in college hockey, and it's still not as popular as football is for so the talent base is Mart is smaller, but also, I mean, it's getting bigger. So we have to still wait and see what the CHL opening up still does for the rest of the college hockey, which we've seen already is propelling it forward in terms of competitiveness. So um, just kind of we'll keep an eye on that. Uh, quickly, I kind of want to go over well, first I want to say the roster's pretty much all locked in except for UND still doesn't know who their third string goaltender is. I can't imagine they're in a super big hurry still to figure that out. I mean, they probably should figure it out here in the next couple weeks. But I mean, the third string goaltenders, when you're looking for a guy like that, you're looking for a guy who's you could play if you needed to in an emergency situation, but not necessarily. But you want to find a guy who's cool with not playing probably ever and being a vibes guy. So, you know, where do you go to find a guy like that? I mean, you could bring in a freshman if you wanted to. You could find, I don't know, where you would want to get a transfer from. I mean, Zach Sandy was pretty much perfect, except for he just likes to drink a lot. Um, and Cheese was honestly perfect. I couldn't think of a better guy than Cheese. Uh, rest in peace, his hips though. Um, that guy was sick. But
He's a
anyway,
firefighter now, right?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, he's a beauty.
he is a beauty. Love Cheese. But
Throw
yeah,
Lammer in there. Lammer's got to have a year left,
yeah,
right? Year eligibility
he's got
left.
a year eligibility left. Yeah, I think he's got to enroll again though. So JP Lamb would be pretty sweet. Maybe he'll do a couple cartwheels in the net and save some pucks. Uh, so yeah, besides that, UND is all set to go as voluntary practices start to roll in. But quickly, I wanted to go over the draft picks that are on the team this year. There are 14 of them, and I'll kind of go over them by round. There will be four first round picks on the team this year, and then I'll go in chronological order from year and pick. So EJ Emery went 30th overall in 2024 uh, to the New York Rangers. Cole Reshny went 18th overall in 2025 to Calgary Flames. Carson Carels went 6th overall in 2026 to the Calgary Flames. And Keaton Verhoeff went 9th overall in 2026 to the San Jose Sharks. Um, before we move on, Greshny, Carls, and Weeb all on the Flames in the Flames organization. Kind of kind of a fun little thing going on there for possibly some UND fans out there that kind of do what I like to do, which is just follow the players. I have a favorite team, but it's pretty much always only because of the players that are on the team. For example, favorite team is Ottawa because they had the Note accents. And before that, it was Chicago because of Tays. But what do you guys think about all the talent landing in Calgary lately from UND?
Yeah, they're really Calgary's doing a good job with college hockey in general. Colin Potter too. Oh, they got another guy I'm blanking on, along with Reshny that's super good too. But yeah, no, they're doing a good job, and it's cool to see UND really create that pipeline. Who is it? I don't know if it's the GM or one of the assistant coaches is really close friends with Dane Jackson. So
Hmm.
I think that's another thing, which is really interesting to see. So yeah, it's cool. You always like to see that connection. Hopefully, our guys that do go there have some success.
For sure. Ian, you got anything to add about that? He wants a second.
Sorry, my phone
Yeah, no kidding. You're gonna lag out here pretty
was
quick.
moving really slow. I'm trying to find what's got going on. I would say they're doing really well with their draft picks. And it's good. We've had the head skating developer for Calgary has been on campus all the time for us in the past 2 years.
I
And
have
so
heard that,
again,
yeah.
that helps with recruiting our players. Like I'm pretty sure from what I was told, the reason Weeb got traded over to Calgary was because of the skating developer that was on campus at UND. And he's proven to be a guy that actually could get some good bottom line minutes for them. So, yeah, Reshny Carels, Colin Potter, Chase Harrington, Yegorov, Wittenbach is drafted to Calgary.
Yep.
Well,
Jack
yeah.
Hextall, I think, went first round this year.
Yep.
Yep, Jack did, yep.
So I mean, they're really, they're loading up, and I like to see that.
Is Hextall
And it's
heading to
good to see all
Michigan or
our
Michigan
guys.
State?
Uh, Hextall probably Michigan State, if I
Yeah,
had to
I
guess.
believe that is correct.
Yeah, I know it's fun to see, and it's been fun to see with Dane Jackson, like Connor Davis, for example, a guy that was supposed to go undrafted. You know, I think you're seeing teams really believe in our system, and that's why you're seeing our players go, to the same teams, because they've seen, the effects of development here on campus, and I don't know, it's exciting. And like the Note XNs, you're gonna have a few of these teams with, 3 or 4 UND guys in the future, and it's gonna be fun to watch them light it up in the league. I'm excited.
For sure. Yeah, sorry guys, I'm kind of going through here and marking down where everyone was selected too quick. So I have another list here. No one on the current roster for this year was drafted in the second round. In the third round, we have three selections. Will Zellers was selected 76th overall in the 2024 draft by the Boston Bruins. Cooper Simpson was drafted 79th overall in 2025 by the Boston Bruins. And then Ethan MacKenzie was drafted this year, 20 or 69th overall by the Toronto Maple Leafs. So two more guys headed to Boston. Uh, we have one fourth round selection on this year's team. Uh, Ole Josephson was drafted 105th overall in 2024 by the Seattle Kraken. Um, and then the fifth round, uh, incoming transfer Hudson Malinowski, 153rd overall in 2023 by the Toronto Maple Leafs. Sam Larilla, 138th overall in 2025 by, I believe, was it the New York Islanders. Connor Davis got drafted 129th overall in this year's draft to, I can't remember, Vancouver. And then sixth round selections, Ashton Schultz, 167th overall in 2025 to Buffalo. And then the last two picks is Max Swanson, who was drafted 207th overall in 2024 to the Pittsburgh Penguins, I believe. Yep. And then Caleb Heil, the last selection, 193rd overall in 2025 to the Tampa Bay Lightning. He got to play in a preseason game with the Lightning last year. I believe they were playing Nashville, and he went and won in a shootout, so that was pretty cool. Speaking of a lot of talent on into one system, Pittsburgh, they got Max Swanson, Jake Livanovich, the Ruck Twins. Um, Anyone have anything to add about that? Just kind of the talent that's been heading to Pittsburgh lately.
Yeah, it's just cool to see more guys heading to one team. It was great to see Livanovich end up signing there, and yeah, I don't know, it's cool. We're gonna see a lot more of this. I think of teams stacking up on UND guys just because there's so many more players that are available to be drafted with the Canadian or excuse me CHL opening up. So yeah, it's good to see.
Yeah, it's really cool. I think UND does just a great job with developing not just draft picks, but a lot of their undrafted guys end up making it to the league. Um, I believe I saw a graphic, I want to say last week or so. We were tied for number second with the most current NHL players who went undrafted with five. I think
Mhm.
Western had seven, was the number one.
That sounds right. Yeah, I saw that.
So just a great look for the program to have us develop so much talent that have been not only undrafted but the drafted ones too. I mean, I'm really excited to see how we can flood the league with talent, and I think It's going to be that way for all college programs. It's just going to you're going to see more and more guys. I believe I don't know the exact number, but this year there was a record set for the most college or like college kid
Wow.
like property whatever prospects in the to go in the NHL draft. So um, in general, we're starting to see the repercussions of opening up the CHL to the NCAA, and it'll continue to trend that way where we'll have, I assume, more and more keep going, and it's just going to be part of hockey now, which I think is really cool. And then the NCAA as a whole is just going to have a bigger footprint on the NHL. So pretty cool.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if not already. We easily see 100+ college hockey players, current or incoming, that are drafted to the NHL. So it's a cool time to be a college hockey fan. I mean, Michigan State has what 10 first round picks either
It's
on the
wild.
team or I think actually this year they'll
On the
have 10
team.
first rounders, which is like you're basically Canada's World Junior squad. So I don't know. It's exciting, and to see that many guys on the ice at the same time, you're watching the highest level of hockey from guys in that age group. So it's cool.
Hmm.
All that to lose for in the first round, though.
Yeah, we'll see if Nightingale can win at least a World Juniors gold. I'll think differently about him, but that guy is a worse choker than Motzko. I mean, Michigan State's they haven't been out of the top five in like 4 years, and they haven't made a Frozen Four. So it's a little
Haven't really gotten
bonkers.
that close either. I mean, they were
Yeah,
what, 10 minutes away this year, and that's the closest they've been. So,
yeah.
Well, they
I mean,
blew a two was it 2 goal lead to Wisconsin or something
mhm.
like
In the last 5 minutes.
bad with Trey
Yeah.
Augustine, who's best goalie in college hockey, arguably. So like, I don't know what more you can ask for with that team. Like, that's
Tough.
some teams don't win.
Yeah, it's
Well, they
tough.
realized you just have to keep paying for more and more players.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Other news, this happened right before the draft as well, but Daxon, or not Daxon Rudolph, Landon DuPont will be heading to the University of Michigan. I knew he's probably going to land in the Big Ten. I know Lincoln, you were pretty dead set on him probably going to Minnesota. Uh, thank God that it ended up being the case. He ended up going to Michigan. So it was kind of funny. I brought this up to you guys, but on the Spin Chicklets podcast, um, oh, what's his name? I can't remember his name. The guy who went and did the Chicklets episode here. I can't think of his name right now, but
Grinelli?
he's yeah, Mike Grinelli, exactly. He was just talking about how Landon got committed to Michigan, how Michigan's gonna have all these guys and be so good, and then Biz just took a fat shit on Michigan and was like, I don't want to keep hearing about Michigan. All I hear about is how loaded they're gonna be, and they end up doing jack shit with it. So I just thought that was funny, but yeah, I mean, a lot of these really talented squads don't end up doing anything. So I mean, it'll be interesting to see who ends up winning it this year. I mean, Denver's reloading, UND's reloading,
Michigan will probably
Michigan,
be the preseason one, I'd imagine.
that or Michigan State. I mean, 10 first round
Those
picks on
two,
the same
and
team. That's
then
crazy.
Rowan, yeah,
Well, Denver will obviously be number one because they won the title, but Michigan State will, after the first week, it'll be Michigan State, I think. That's just hard to ignore 10 first rounders that early in the year.
Top five will
yeah,
be UND, Michigan State, Michigan, and Denver. So
right, yeah.
Duluth.
somewhere in whatever order.
I bet Duluth.
Denver
Duluth will be up there too.
Denver has their best class ever coming in. I mean, they got Rudolph and Lynn to replace. Oh God, they're gonna be gross this
Holtkamp.
year. That's tough. It's really tough because Denver's always been the team that doesn't have a lot of high-end draft picks,
Hmm.
but now they have both.
Yeah,
So it's like
yeah, they're
shit.
good.
Yeah, but I'm waiting on the Johnny Hicks sophomore slump of the century. I don't think he's going to be good in net for them this year. I think they're going to replace him by Christmas.
Yeah, well, we
Yeah,
also thought we weren't going to lose a game in the second half, but you know,
I, I don't think they'll replace Johnny Hicks by Christmas, but I do think he's going to struggle right away because Denver was really they had Boston Buckberger, Eric Polkamp playing in front of him last year, and Holcamp in the second half of the season, a lot of people forget this. He really figured out his defensive game too. But I think this year in the first half, Jackson Rudolph, Ryan Lynn, a few of these
They're
guys,
going to struggle right away.
they
I
are going to
mean,
struggle right away, which is normal, and that's okay. That's how it works in the NCHC and with any college hockey team. So I think you could see a little bit of a fall. I think we kind of saw that with Hampton Slakinski when Jona Weissman went down, and
mhm.
Western had lost some of their defensemen. Like Hampton had a little bit of a, I wouldn't say fall off, but his numbers weren't as good. But then it just comes down to, I think, truly with every NCHC team, and Denver does this every year. They're better in the second half anyway. So it's like if teams start off not looking great, that doesn't mean they're bad. I just hope people understand that, and it's where you're going to hear a lot about the Big Ten once again because we have to every season with Michigan, and it's going to be a whole ordeal once again.
I mean, yeah, the same thing happened with Mikhail Yegorov for BU. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
that team just struggled all year, and
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, so I mean, that was an interesting situation with both the national championship goaltenders from 2025 ended up
Yeah.
having a sophomore slump at the same time. So
I don't know. I think Hicks is just so small. You know what I mean?
did that happen to
Like,
you
I
too,
feel
Lincoln?
like the reason he kind of did so well is because he was a guy that came in as a third stringer. Nobody really had film on him, and he was just quick and able to move around, and nobody, kind of caught everybody off guard. And plus, Denver played their best hockey in front of him from that moment forward. Clearly, they went, 16-0-1 to end the year. Um, I don't know. I feel like once these teams have film on them and you're really seeing these teams stack up on talent, like we haven't seen, like the NCHC is going to be more offensively gifted than it ever has been this year, especially
Hmm.
this year. And for a guy that's like 5'8", 5'9", like I saw him in person. You saw him in person too, David. Like 5'10" is it's generous. He's
For
probably
who?
sitting at 5'8". Johnny Hicks. He's probably sitting at 5'8", 5'9".
Yeah.
He's a really skinny guy too. I mean, he's I think he's what, like 150. So I don't know. Just goalies that small, especially in the NCHC, I just don't see them doing that well consistently. I could
Some
be
short
wrong.
goalies are freaks though, dude.
Yeah,
There are
I
some
could be
short
wrong.
goalies who are absolute freaks. So yeah, I mean, when you look at a goalie like that who's shorter, I mean, obviously they don't have the vertical height when you're low in the net to cover the top end. But I mean, those guys they they make up for it with being really quick. And I mean, Johnny Hicks, all the Denver goalies who won national championships in the last couple of years have all been really good at just locking in and staying calm. So I think that's his best attribute is his ability to stay calm and just not panic. Something that Jan's been pretty good at as well. So it'll be hopefully Jan doesn't have a sophomore slump. I mean, holy, we kind of really need him to do well. You know, but really interested to see how Keaton does. Uh, a little nervous for Carson Carels that he might just totally kill some kids. Um, hoping he doesn't turn out to be like another Tyler Clevin where he just kills people on accident and then gets suspended a couple times a year. Um, he'll be pretty disciplined, I feel like. We'll see, but I mean
I
that
feel
D
like
core is gonna be
that's
pretty young but really good, talented.
yeah, I feel like the NCHC with all these big CHL defensemen coming in, they're gonna have to give up some slack on the hits. Like Clevin did kind of play in the pinnacle of the offensive defenseman years of the NCHC. And so anytime he'd hit a guy, he was the biggest guy on the ice by far, so they were just granted to give him a penalty. Now I think you're gonna see it even out where a lot of these teams have, big defensemen. So I hope it's more physical this year. I think that's been the biggest struggle in the NCHC is that they have a pretty soft whistle on checks. Um, I don't know. I hope they let him be more physical. I mean, like we have a lot of guys coming in who are, like Carls and his line mate, their teammate Bauer. Like, they ECH had that video. He knocks a guy out cold with one punch. In the juniors.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I hope they kind of let him go this year. That's how it should be. That's how the WCHA used to be, and we saw the products that came out of that. So
Yep. Lincoln, you got anything to add? Okay. Well, pretty much goes over everything. I mean, we'll have an episode again soon. I don't know when, but hopefully we can have a guest on before. Maybe we'll have Brad on for some sort of thing. But we're kind of in the dot. We have now reached kind of the dead zone of college hockey until the countdown to the season begins. So from here on out, it'll be episodes might become kind of sparse and random. So apologize for that. We'll get content out as it comes, but there's just not a lot going on for the next couple months. Um, but yeah, UNE's roster is pretty much done except for the third string goalie, which is not really going to make a difference anyway. But yeah, anyone else got anything to add before we sign off here? Cool. Well, if you're a returning listener, thank you for listening to us. Sorry about my inability to pronounce names, and sorry for these guys for their inability to read the script that I give them every week. But nonetheless, thanks for listening. And if you are new, we hope to hear you come. We hope to see you come back again soon. Uh, Enjoy the rest of your summer, and hopefully we'll see you again very soon.